That everybody's always looking for. Baby girl at 180. Time for a refresh. Let's see. So today I'll be getting into, I guess, catching you up on where we are with this swap. Doing we'll get to that later, but so never really worked on camera before, so we were going back and forth on whether we were going to record this or not. Well, we've been dealership technicians for some years now, and just always loved cars, so been doing our own thing on the side. But well, obviously we're gonna be editing this. So I've never worked on camera before, but man, we're gonna do a lot of editing. So we were debating whether or not we were gonna record this or not, and then the thought came to me. So I've had this motor for about a year now. I got it maybe right around the beginning of quarantine. So it just I had a lot of time to research and go through stuff like that and try to get everything right with this swap. And what I found was there's not a lot of information out there, or it's just old and the threads, the links don't work, the pictures don't work, but information is there. So I figured, why not just pass it along? So I'll catch you up on where we are now. Okay, so motor's been in and out awful lot now, but so today we're gonna put it back in with the transmission on, get the mounts made up, so then I can basically have, the biggest part set, and then I'll be able to start fitting and routing everything else around it. Plan on moving these fuel lines, because you'll see later on it's pretty close to the headers. But so all this is clear. Your power steering line usually. I'll give you some idea of how I never did this with one hand before. Alright, close enough. I think you get the picture. Reservoir, line, there we go. Then line comes around. Actually, that's way too high. Bracket here connects the line here. Another bracket here, line comes across. Of course, still fluid in it. Hope you appreciate the mess I just made for you, just to give you an idea. And that scratch I just made. Okay. So this is the line to your cooler. Comes around this way. I think you get the idea. You get the idea. So steering comes out of the rack, goes this way, comes up, goes over. I'm spending way too much time on power steering right now. So that's removed. AC is not gonna work. This clutch line could probably stay, maybe, but I'm gonna move it just because I have another stainless line from a 240 that I've done. I had it for a couple years, so whatever. Okay, so today we've already got the adapter hooked up. We already got the Collins adapter hooked up. We'll hook up the trans. So this is what we pretty much have left to go. Clutch, flywheel, competition, stage 2. Courtesy of Njuku. We've got catch cans. We've got our cooler lines. Remote filter lines. We got our vibrant fittings. Our IAC remote mount. Special thanks to Eric at VHperformance.com, or look at the, I'm messing up the shout out, performancevh.com. Thanks a lot. We got fuel pressure regulator, fuel pump, courtesy Z1. Okay, so that's pretty much what we got left to go on the car. Right now, with this power steering situation, I'm waiting for the fittings to come. We're gonna do custom lines, so they have to come this way. Which so far it looks like I'm gonna be able to reuse this line if I just turn the hose the other way. Show you what I mean. Come through, mount it here, pretty much in the stock location. It's just on the other side over here. And I can come up. I plan on doing the oil filter here, so I'll probably have to go up a little higher. So come here, up a little higher, and come around, because I'll have to mount the reservoir pretty much over here. Stock location. Maybe I can flip this bracket, put some mounts over here, so I can keep the same bracket. Go from there. Oil filter. Okay, you'll be able to see better once the motor's back in. Okay, you can see what I'm running into. This is the stock evap line and the fuel feed. Yeah, so that's getting rerouted. That's what I'm looking at over here. Over here is actually not that bad with all this stuff out right now. So you can see where I was running into the steering column. Pretty much right up against the frame here, but once it gets sunk down in, there's actually a little bit of clearance in between both frame rails and both manifolds. So you'll see that in a second, couple minutes. I'll probably just jinx myself though. So that's what I'm looking at. I have this little block taped on just because it kept moving around and sliding, but that's the lowest I want the motor to sit. And I'll just clear the power steering lines, and it'll keep the front of the pan above the cross member. So see how safe that is. All right, well, get back to squeezing this thing in. Oh. Oh yeah, that's almost like it was meant to be here. Okay, now I can talk to you a little more. Power steering will actually make some sense now, as you can actually see it. So V8 power steering pump, you see it has this giant pulley on it. The banjo to AN fitting coming from, it's a vibrant fitting coming from Summit. So basically this will just give me, instead of having the banjo come in and then the pressure line, that weird looking U, mine is just gonna be coming straight off, and I think I'm gonna go straight back. But man, that paint is bright. You can see here, this is Performance VH's Eric. He does the oil filter house, and he'll modify it for you, where he welds on these AN fittings, because the stock filter assembly comes, and if you notice, you'll see the oil filter directly here, like it screws on this way. So that's the stock setup, which would have probably fit, would have been tight for me, especially to have to run these power steering lines through that way. So this is nice, but he can weld on -10 or -12. I went with the 12s. So my lines are going to 90 off of here and come straight up, and filter is going to go here. So that should give me the room. If these are 90s, I can straight through. I don't know if you can see the rack. straight back, so that would be nice. I have also from Vibrant, it's a 120. Hopefully that'll get me close enough in the ballpark to get my braided lines, but the 120 should send it back in this direction so I can get up here. But I'm happy with this. I say that now, but yeah, I still have the stock V8 mount over here if you can see it. So yeah, that's how far it has to go, and the mounts have to be made up. But I do like it. Okay, so to do the mounts, I want to mount up the trans, and then once the trans is mounted up, try to get the drive shaft in. So I might have to make it a little shorter, we'll see. And then do that, make sure everything's mounted where I like, make sure it's level, everything's straight, and then we'll tack up the mounts and go from there.